Derby World, it's JJ. So we're sitting here with the 1996 Chevy Blazer. I'm going to be doing a little bit of engine work here. Unfortunately, it's not starting running for me, so I let it sit for a little too long. So we're going to have to fix that issue here first, probably. But once I get that figured out, the game plan is do a little bit of engine work. We're going to get this stripped out a little bit. You know, this box here is going to go away. We're going to get rid of this condenser. You know, I got a belt to be able to get rid of that. You know, we're going to get rid of all this stuff that's not needed in here. So that's the game plan. I do have some parts that are going to be going into this thing. You know, as I mentioned, here's that belt to be able to get rid of that AC condenser there, that part there. So we're going to use that belt, get rid of that thing. Let's see, what else do I have here? It's been a while since I've ordered this, so we'll see what we got. It's a surprise for me too. Aha! So here, still in the packaging, this is the oil filter adapter. As I mentioned in the overview, that oil filter is sitting right. Alright, I dropped it, you guys. Right down here. It's hard to see it, but it's right down there. It's actually right by the radiator. So this adapter should help get that oil filter a little closer to the engine. I'll do a separate video on that. This one mounts right to the block, right where the oil filter sits, right in front of the engine. There is another adapter that you could use that would actually bolt, and you'd be able to reroute your oil filter to somewhere along the firewall. Being this is for a derby, I'm kind of up against the wall. I don't really like the idea of having an extra couple lines, hoses running through there, so that's why I chose to go with this. But there is that option. So, and then this here, this is the water outlet. You know, you see the one there, right here, going back, and then this will loop that way around. I'm gonna actually, with this being gone, I'm just going to replace that, so it's just got that tube coming out, and then it's going to go straight to the radiator there. So just a little more organized, a little more out of the way. And then since I'm going to be in there, I also ordered these, the coolant constrictors. So I'm going to get rid of the thermostat that's in there and stick one of these in there. Just provide some better water flow. There's less resistance in there, and then the gaskets to go along with it. But that's the plan for now, so I'm gonna get my gears turning and see what we can do. So here we are. I got the spark plugs changed, hoping that would be what the reason is for this thing not starting. Turns out that's not to be the case. I mean, the spark plugs are absolutely terrible. Here, let me find one. Oh, there I am dropping things again. So yeah, as you can see, most of the spark plugs looked exactly like that were in there. So I thought maybe that would do the trick. No, we're still sitting here. It'll pop off on starting fluid, but that's about it. So I got to go back to the drawing board with why this thing isn't running now. I had it running here a few weeks ago. I let it sit and idle for a little bit just to make sure everything was all set and ready to go. But now here we are, just sitting spinning with a dud. But I guess once I tried that, I guess I just continued stripping. You know, I got the AC little part there. I got the plastic housing there for the antifreeze and for the washer fluid. So I got this little housing here out. So it's making some progress. I also got that switched over. You know how you remember before it went through here and then it looped all the way around through, and now I just have it sitting here. I had to go buy a 25-inch hose, radiator hose. The ones I had weren't quite long enough, so 25 inches for future reference if you're doing this. And they got all that set up. I do have that resistor inside the cap here, so that's all in place. Don't know if it's leaking or not, so I gotta test that once I figure everything running. Although when it comes to the serpentine belt, I thought I had the right one. Turns out, actually, that belt was actually needed with a pulley. So I did a little bit of research and found out that if I eliminate this pulley here, there was a pulley there before, there is a belt. I gotta get it ordered. None of the auto parts stores had it in stock, of course, so that'll be ordered in here within a couple days. But yeah, that will just go, go from the alternator here right directly to the power steering pump here. So that will at least get that taken care of and fixed. I got part of the bumper stripped out, and I'll show you the oil filter. I also was wrong about the oil filter as well. The part I ordered was that exact part. So again, I got to go back to the drawing board. So everything I found online is all going haywire and not going the way that I would like it to. But that's part of Durian. But I mean, like you said, I mean, there's the front bumper, and there's your oil filter. So I gotta find a different way to route that. So I really don't like the way that is, but that's how some of these Vortecs, the 4.3s are, and I deal with it what I can. I mean, I might just end up being to the point where, I know I mentioned earlier, I don't like the fact of running any extra lines around here, but at this point I almost don't have much of a choice. But once I get that heater core out, I'll probably stick it somewhere along the firewall there. Once I get this a little cleaned out more, I'll be able to tell what I can put where. But anyways, that's the update number 2, I think was what we're on. Yeah, update number 2 for the 1996 Blazer. Nothing but problems with this video, unfortunately, but we'll go back to the drawing board and then we'll see what we can get going from there, right? Like I said, the biggest thing is trying to figure out why this motor's not running. I like to be able to keep it EFI the way it is, but gosh, I'm almost starting to wonder if I just need to carb this thing. But I'll do a little bit of research, a little bit of talking to people. I've never carbed in 4.3, so that will be an very interesting task to handle. I don't think it'd be too difficult, but the part that worries me is the electronics with the transmission. If I carb it and only run the 3-4 wires for the alternator, would I then have issues with the transmission? So as I said, a little bit of digging into I gotta do, but that'll be it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.